My name is Chip Kennedy. I'm here to introduce the Incline Strider. We're making this demo for certain interested parties. I want to explain the components of the Incline Strider. This is the second generation prototype that we've built. The third generation will be completed in 2 weeks, today being May 8th. The main component of the Incline Strider is the heavy specialized weighted flywheel. What we've done is we replaced the consuming costly motor of a traditional treadmill with this flywheel. The flywheel premise is based on perimeter weighting. That perimeter weighting creates an aggressive inertia driving the belt as the user is exercising. Even under great resistance, the belt flow is nice and smooth and very organic. What we have here is various hand stations, which is really the key to as the user is engaged with the unit. We have the side stations, which keeps the user stable and also creates comfort while using the Incline Strider. Then some front components, and this varies with different heights and widths. What we can do is we can pull this pin out and change it to a shoulder harness, to a horn apparatus, which you have vertical and horizontal hand stations, or just a flat horizontal bar as you see here. This is a very unique feature, and I think it will be very well received, especially during power workouts. The elevation of this unit is set at 11.3 degrees. That elevation was determined through much field testing and trial and error. We found it to be optimal for developing muscle stimulation and cardio development. Third is the braking system on the unit. This second prototype has a pad brake that engages the flywheel. The next unit we built, the third prototype, will have a magnetic resistance system. What this one does, as the user turns the knob, it engages a pad that rubs against the flywheel, which is very common amongst exercise bikes. What we're doing with the next unit is having the same type of knob but placed in a different location. But as the user turns that knob, instead of engaging a pad to the flywheel, we'll be engaging magnets. And the variation of the two is a pad is vulnerable for environmental disruptions, and with moisture, dust, and dirt, if it gets in between the pad and the flywheel, it doesn't perform at the same level. As well as with the magnets never come in direct contact with the flywheel. As more magnets are engaged to the flywheel, as the unit turns the knob right, there's more resistance created in the magnetic field between the magnets and the flywheel. Because there's no contact points, there's no rubbing parts, there's no wear and tear. In addition to that brake system, the advantage is it creates a wider range of resistance. With the pad, you go from no resistance to moderate to heavy, because you have the components touch each other. With the magnets, we can disperse the resistance in its smaller doses, smaller increments, creating a wider range for the user. What we'd like to do is also explain the tread belt. The size is a bit unique to most treadmills. The length of the belt is just over 5 feet and the width is just about 2 feet. The reason we chose the size, we wanted a large workout area for the user. This different sizes will enable the user to do multiple body positions, different speeds, help them mix up and create more variety when that person's working out. Those are the basic components of this design. It's very simple, and that's the attraction of it. It's totally green, requires no external power whatsoever, no cords, no batteries. It's ideal for mobility, athletic field, backyards, decks, whatever the situation may be. It also has wheels in the bottom, so as you elevate the back half, you can move the unit around. It also has a cover, just like a grill cover. You take out and you can cover it up should you leave it outside overnight or during inclement weather. So that's the basic components. We're now going to get into the usage of the machine, which breaks down into 2 separate categories: the endurance part of it, and the second one is for strength and power. I wanted to cover the endurance aspects of this unit, and truly this is the motivation behind the design. Yeah, I've always enjoyed running. Well, didn't quite enjoy it, but I like the benefits of running. And I wanted a piece of equipment that would simulate the cardio benefits of running, plus getting the muscle stimulation of the same motion of running. And thus, we have the Incline Strider. I can get the same workout, I can raise my heart rate as if I was running, but I'm getting much greater muscle stimulation. Remember, with each step, I'm driving the belt. So I'm engaging my quads, my hamstrings, my calves, the butt, lower back, and core. With an elongated walk or striding motion, I can elevate my rate to the point as if I'm running. But notice the slight impact, very low impact versus running, and the pounding of running. That's what I'm avoiding with this. The other day, this past Sunday, there was a Pittsburgh Marathon. And in celebration of the marathon, I did my own marathon on this unit. I was on it for 2.5 hours, non-stop, just doing this type of motion. I had my heart rate up to a range from 115 to 125. My standing rate's 58. So I was getting a heck of a workout, and for 2.5 hours, which closely resembled that of running the marathon. The next day, I had no pain, no joint pain, no muscle pain, because I'm not pounding the pavement. Some of my friends who ran the marathon and the half marathon did feel it the next day. Their ankles, knee, back. So, from the endurance aspect, this is the beauty of it. This is why we have the elevation, the flywheel, because I'm engaging my lower body. Now I can mix up in different positions. This elevates low and high. And any noise you hear is because it's a prototype. Any rubbing part you're hearing is because we're not using the actually told size. This is prototype size. And the bouncing noise of this is just because it's temporary. But I can mix up the different positions, creating variety in my workout and gaining comfort. Part of the endurance workout too is to find out where your stress zones are. Lower back, knees, ankles. Spending a long time on this, I had no stress points. Mixing it up gave me comfort, enabled me to work out longer and more efficiently. So you can tell by my speaking how my cardio is already being challenged. Next, we'll get into more of a strength and power display. We're going to get into more of a power or strength workout very briefly, but one aspect I want to share with you too, you know, when I described the endurance features, one true aspect of all that is with your heart rate being elevated and because of the muscle stimulation, you're burning calories at a higher rate than you would be running, because you're combining cardio with the muscle stimulation. So that's a real advantage. Now, as a power unit, to create strength and power, you need interval training and resistance. We have various resistance levels we can engage here. I have a slight resistance on right now, but what I'll show you is some of the different things we can do. You can get into a driving position, really hit your lower body. Now you won't be able to, I would not be able to maintain this too long, but it gives you the idea of what that's like. Now someone who's stronger, an athlete, stronger than myself, would be able to do more of that at longer intervals. But just showing you the variations. The other thing we can do is more of a run from this position. And here again, you're driving it with every step. That gives you an idea. One key component too in the interval training and strength training is a unique feature on this. And this is for athletes. This motion here, my left leg is driving that treadmill. It's simulating the cutting motion that you have in football, basketball, hockey, and other sports. I'm strengthening that cutting motion. I'm driving that tread belt. So you can see as you stop and plant and cut, I'm getting great stimulation in the side of the knee, which is great for accident prevention. The other tweak thing on this is to go backwards. You'll see athletes train commonly with a backwards motion. And remember, I'm driving this tread belt, and it's very smooth. I'm getting great stimulation in the front of my quads and lower back and butt. And this is all with moderate resistance. And you can see that tread belt, even with some resistance, because of that aggressive inertia, keeps flowing. But I'm still driving it with every step. This is the other aspect of the power, strength aspect of it. This is my favorite. This is quite unique. This is a shoulder apparatus. And this is just temporary, but it gives you the gist and the idea. As I get into the harness, I'm engaging the stress points. I'm going to put more resistance on too. All the stress is being distributed to my shoulders, and I can drive it just like a sled. But see, I'm engaging my shoulders, and they're taking all the stress points. It's not something you want to do for length, for a long time, but you can see how your lower body can be challenged. For football players, hockey, rugby, any athlete. And here again, this is part of the interval. Keep this up for a minute, rest, another minute. It's ideal. In closing on the Incline Strider, I just want to share some other information. I've had two different mechanical engineering firms work on this unit. We have complete designs and drawings. We've had 3 different fabricators work on this unit. This being a second prototype, there was a lot of evolution that led up to this point. We also have attorneys that are covering certain aspects of this design. We believe we can obtain a patent on the flywheel and on the interchangeable hand positions, and possibly an IP patent on the whole structure. We do have a patent pending status, so we'll know more on that front in the near future. But this unit is also very simple. As you can see, there's no terribly expensive components. It's very cost effective, and that's why we think it has great marketing potential. As you can see with the endurance aspects of it and the strength and power point of it, it has cross appeal. So this is the unit. Should you have greater interest, please contact me at the information we're providing, and we would love to speak with you. Thank you.